Cobra pose. Bhujangasana. Like other positions that create spinal extension, this asana also requires extension of the thoracic vertebrae as the basis for high-quality, progressive exercise. This area of the upper back has much less backward extension movement because of structural limitations imposed by the thoracic vertebrae. Limited extension of the thoracic vertebrae is a common occurrence among exercisers, and in this condition of thoracic rigidity, most of the extension, arching, movement occurs in the lumbar vertebrae. In such cases, modifications are necessary, as well as proper preparation of all the joints involved. The trapezius draws the scapulae down and close to the chest cavity. The latissimus dorsi extends the arms and indirectly it contributes to making the chest protrude. When we perform lower back extension, the sacrum moves forward in relation to the ilium. Exercisers who are sensitive to pain in the lower back area can have a positive or negative reaction to activating this joint in the cobra position. In some cases, the position may significantly relieve back pain symptoms, while in others the position may aggravate existing symptoms. For this reason, exercisers should cautiously test their response to the position, see how they feel after performing it, and then adopt the variation that suits them best. A common problem is that structural kyphosis in the back limits extension. This is because of the low mobility potential of the thoracic vertebrae. In this position, we need to perform passive segmental extension of the thoracic vertebrae. Structural rigidity, such as structural kyphosis in the back, limits the degree of extension because of the low mobility potential of the thoracic vertebrae. The result is global extension, mainly in the lumbar vertebrae, which increases lumbar lordosis, instead of local extension in the chest vertebrae. Solution 1 is to place your hands forward in order to decrease the range of back extension. Changing the placement of the hands is a means of controlling the range of arching. The further the hands are placed from the body, the smaller is the range of extension in the lower back. Structural kyphosis in the back limits extension in the chest area. Changing the placement of the hands is a means of controlling the range of arching. Solution 2 involves preparatory exercises for softening and moving the thoracic vertebrae. This should help in conditions of light structural kyphosis and as general preparation. A common problem is a limitation in the lower back or sensitivity to pain in positions of increased arching. Solution 1 is to contract the pelvic floor muscles and the transverse abdominal muscles. This helps to stabilize the lumbar spine and moderate the arching. Solution 2 is to change where we place the hands. Hand placement affects the extent of arching and the load imposed on active areas. This is a good way to adjust the position to suit each exerciser's needs. The more forward the hands are placed, the smaller will be the extent of arching. Solution 3 is to control the hand pressure on the ground. The amount of pressure the hands exert on the ground affects activation of the back muscles. As the hands push down more strongly, less work is done by the erector spinae muscles and more load is imposed on the hand muscles. Completely removing the hands from the ground will transfer all the responsibility for arching the back to the erector spinae. Raising the trunk and creating extension all along the spine occurs when there is cooperation between 2 points of power, the erector spinae on the one side and the hand and shoulder girdle muscles on the other. The actual load imposed on these muscles is not necessarily symmetrical and can be controlled in 2 ways. A common problem is neck sensitivity when the cervical vertebrae are hyperextended. Solution 1 is to pull the chin in towards the chest before entering the position. This change will concentrate the extension in the upper thoracic spine and reduce arching of the cervical vertebrae. If the cervical vertebrae are extended too strongly or excessively, the result may be overload on the neck. This possibility is especially important when a person's posture is marked by shortened neck muscles. In such conditions, pulling the chin in toward the chest will maintain the neck area in an elongated and more protected position. Solution 2 is to turn our gaze slightly downward. Looking downward affects the extent of cervical arching. Turning the gaze forward or slightly downward will help to reduce arching.